Okay.
Speaking of which, we seem to keep missing out on the discount grape juice at Dawn Winery. Oh, Paimon has a hunch that today will be the day. If we leave right now, maybe we'll get there in time.
Oh.
Shall we get going?
Sure, why not?
Good day to you both. It's been quite a long time. You're looking well as ever.
Hi, Adeline.
Hi.
To what do we owe the honor today? Important business to discuss with Master Diluc, I presume?
Not quite important business. Grape juice, actually.
That's right. Adeline, since we've run into you, maybe we could just get you to help us with this one. We always miss the winery's discount grape juice, so this time we decided to come here early. Can you reserve a bottle for us? We'll pay a deposit. Just name the price.
Of course I can, and no deposit necessary. But I'm afraid you might be in for quite a wait. Dawn Winery's discount grape juice takes a long time to make. Every summer, Master Diluc handpicks 2 barrels of the finest grapes to turn into juice.
What? Why sell the good stuff at a low price? Shouldn't the best grapes be the most expensive?
Master has never explained his reasoning. If I had to guess, the discount could be a marketing technique. Special deals always attract customers. Perhaps Master hopes to increase the popularity of fruit juice so that people have more options when it comes to drinking.
Oh, right. He doesn't like alcohol. Makes sense.
It makes an ideal alternative for the heaviest drinkers because they won't get drunk and start causing mischief. At the same time, those who don't drink alcohol get the chance to try something new.
Wouldn't that harm the winery's business?
Master Diluc isn't all about money. I think he would prefer to see people drinking in moderation than chase bigger profits at any cost.
That's the kind of people we need in the world.
Imagine if everyone could just enjoy a nice glass of wine and have a good time while keeping their wits about them and not creating trouble for others. Now, wouldn't that be a miracle?
So, is Diluc picking out this year's grapes right now?
Not just yet. He has a few more issues to sort out first. He'll start the process as soon as those are out of the way.
Oh.
If you're interested, I'm sure Master Diluc would be delighted to see you and hear your thoughts.
What are the issues, by the way?
As you know, whenever Master Diluc catches wind of any unsavory guests showing up in Mondstadt, he takes it upon himself to go and greet them in person. It's the same story today.
Unsavory guests? What is that supposed to mean?
Maybe it has to do with the whole Dark Knight hero thing.
Huh? You mean the dark and evil Abyss Order are up to no good again? In that case, Master Diluc's our friend. We can't sit here and do nothing.
Wouldn't she know about the whole secret?
If you're happy to help, that would be wonderful. Master trusts you after all, and you're both very capable. I know he'd appreciate a helping hand.
No biggie. The sooner Master Diluc is free, the sooner we can get a taste of that delicious grape juice. Come on, let's go to the Falcon Coast.
Alright.
Is that a camp over there? Diluc is camping out in the wild?
I guess.
Huh. This is weird. Maybe these enemies are really tough, and it's turned into a long, drawn-out battle.
Maybe.
Let's go check it out. Huh. This tent doesn't look like it belongs to Diluc. Maybe it's an adventurer camp. Oh, there's a piece of paper and a notebook over there. Let's read them.
Dear Dark Knight Hero, we are seeing a repeat of the phenomenon we encountered many years ago. Although you fully resolved the issue last time, the Ley Line seems to have been stimulated in some way and are releasing the monsters they recorded once more. I'm sure you will want to deal with foes that pose the biggest threat immediately. So I'm notifying essential individuals per the operating procedures.
Judging by the tone, it seems like this was written by someone Diluc knows well. Let's call him Diluc's friend for now. He saw something bad happen, wrote a note for Master Diluc, and then left. Huh. Isn't that pretty irresponsible? What if someone else had seen it? Also, he left his notebook behind. Now that Paimon thinks about it, You know that strange ley line deposit on the beach?
Paimon bets that's the phenomenon he was talking about.
Other than that, everything seems fine here. Not a monster in sight. Do you want to read Diluc's friend's notebook too?
Sure. It's been years since the Ley Lines last released such highly aggressive monsters during the anomaly. The Dark Knight hero's timing was perfect. The way he lured the monsters a few at a time into the open to defeat them one by one, quite the strategy. And then he pretended to be seriously injured, luring out the Abyss Order's main forces and meeting them head-on, a truly magnificent counterattack. Still, this plan involved too many uncertainties. The Dark Knight hero himself even said that he can't afford to take risks like this every time. Going to the root of the problem and preventing these types of ley line disorders from happening is the safest approach.
Paimon didn't follow all that. But it seemed to be about a previous battle Diluc was in?
Ley lines hold many secrets. We ordinary people do not need to concern ourselves with the way they work. But since the Dark Knight hero will be fighting against the Abyss Order for the long term, it is in our best interest to gain a deeper understanding of them. I hear that the captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team is a highly accomplished academic, but unlike Lisa, he is not especially close with the acting Grand Master. We should be able to learn a few things from him without the Knights of Favonius finding out. Perhaps the Dark Knight hero could ask him for input on the technical issues regarding the ley lines. I'll deliver the letter to his camp on the mountain.
Sounds like it was talking about Albedo. Did Diluc write a letter to Albedo?
Maybe.
Whoa, where did all these monsters come from?
I don't know. Ley line?
Wait a second. Is that Diluc? He looks kind of different than usual.
Yeah, and his new skin, it looks fabulous.
Look at him go! So focused and full of energy. So this is Captain Pyro when he's in top form, huh?
It must be Diluc from when he fought here in the past.
Hey, you're right. Now that Paimon looks more closely, this Diluc does look younger than usual. But what happened back then? Why is he fighting here?
I don't know.
Guess we can just ask him about it when we see him. What should we do now?
We shouldn't act rashly. Let's observe for now.
Okay, let's see how young Diluc used to fight. The fight is over. Diluc wiped the floor with them. Guess some things haven't changed. So is there any actual danger here? It looks like it's only these illusions from the past.
Diluc must have already been here.
So Diluc's already called it a day? Will more monsters come out if we go up to that weird ley line deposit again? And what about young Diluc? If it's like the other ley line deposits we've seen, then it should have disappeared now that all the monsters are defeated.
So, young Diluc's piqued your interest? I can't blame you, he is pretty cute.
No. Paimon's just a little worried is all.
Paimon, that sounds like you have maybe a little crush on him. He did look cute, so I can't blame you.
What if someone passing by gets curious, comes to check it out, and suddenly, yeah! A monster jumps out and clubs him over the head with a swoosh and a smash! That would be terrible.
Why the sound effects?
Because it sounds more dangerous that way.
Okay.
Anyway, we came here to help Diluc, didn't we? So let's stick around a little longer and make sure this place is completely safe before we head back.
You know what? Sure, why not?
Come on, let's finish what we came for. When we get the grape juice, you can have some of Paimon's half. I'm starting to wonder if we should have left the ley line deposit alone. Maybe then the monsters would have stopped coming.
Perhaps.
Also, Paimon still doesn't have a clue what's going on here. Should we just go ask Diluc?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, come on. Let's get back to the Dawn Winery.
Alright, let's go.
You're finally back. I didn't think you'd be gone for so long. Sorry if it was too much trouble.
No, it's fine.
That's okay. We did offer to help.
Even if we hadn't gone to Falcon Coast, we probably would have been somewhere else fighting monsters.
So anyway, is Master Diluc back yet? We didn't see him at Falcon Coast.
Sorry, I'm not sure of Master's whereabouts either. but I did hear that he recently visited Angel's Share. After dealing with this kind of trouble, Master is always careful to tie up all loose ends. It's become something of a routine. He should be back very soon. You needn't worry. In the meantime, please make yourself comfortable in the winery.
Alright.
After all that, we managed to completely miss him. Oh well. Let's just wait for him at the winery this time.
It was worth it for the experience.
By the way, Adeline, how come you're always standing here at the door lately? Usually you're busy indoors. Hopefully you haven't been standing there waiting for Master Diluc this whole time, because that would be really tiring.
Oh, thanks for your concern. But I've actually been instructed by Master to meet with some special guests here. Certain guests may need reminding to stay away for the time being.
Oh.
Master hopes that under the present circumstances, these guests will keep an appropriate distance from the winery, so as not to make a difficult situation even more complicated.
Alright.
Well, Paimon didn't understand any of that, but it sounds like a really important job.
Maybe we could help you meet those guests?
That's very kind of you indeed, but you've already helped Master Diluc out a great deal. You can let me take care of these time-consuming chores.
Alright.
There is one small thing you could do for me, though. Please, take this letter and place it on the table to your right as you enter the door. There are a few archived letters on that table already. Just put this one at the very top of the pile.
Okay.
Is this a letter for Master Diluc?
Yes, it's from one of his informants. Only those in Master's inner circle are permitted to handle it or serve as custodian.
Ooh, that means we're part of Diluc's inner circle.
Oh, that means we're friends, I bet.
Of course. Master Diluc greatly values your friendship. Thanks again for the help.
Aw, I value our friendship too, buddy.
Whoa, there are so many letters here. It looks like Diluc read them just before he left. He must have been in a hurry.
Yeah.
Adeline asked us to put this one at the top of the pile, but how are we supposed to tell the order of the other ones?
Good point.
Guess we'll have to read them to get an idea of when they came in.
Wait, let me think. Should we really be doing this?
Bad idea. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's just tidy them up a little.
You're here. You move fast.
Oh, hello, Diluc. I can't speak. You make me flustered, apparently.
Woo, there he is.
What are you agonizing over?
Miss Adeline asked us to put these letters in a pile, and we can't tell which order they should go in. But it's your personal mail, so it'd be rude for us to read them without your permission.
There's no need to be nervous. And I can see from the looks on your faces that they've grabbed your interest.
Well, of course, naturally.
These letters deal with events that are past and gone. I only held on to them in case any of the information they contain proves useful later down the line. I just dug them out to confirm a few details. I've been following some rather unique developments recently. You were involved in the events in question anyway. You can read them if you want to. It's not a bad thing to be curious.
Do you still have other business to attend to? You seem to be in a huge rush.
Hey, that's a good point. Actually, you kind of smell like wild mountain fruit. Oh, did you go to those mountains where the valberries come from?
Very perceptive. Yes, I did make a trip to the Stormbearer Mountains. I'll fill you in later.
Alright.
No fair! We still have some super important things to discuss with Diluc. Not to mention a whole bunch of questions.
Calm down, Paimon, calm down.
Alright, let's just sort these letters for him. Well, since he said he doesn't mind, why don't we read them as we go?
Alright.
Alright then, let's put the letters in the right order. There's one thing we can take away from these. It's that Master Diluc has had a pretty difficult past.
Yeah.
Not only was he misunderstood by the Knights of Favonius, but he's faced all kinds of other obstacles too. Sounds like it's tough being Captain Pyro.
Stop calling him Captain Pyro.
Always fighting alone because, for one reason or another, it wasn't convenient for the people around him to help out.
But Diluc seems to have found some peace since then.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, he's got us now. We can give him all the help he could ever want.
Yeah.
Oh, out of friendship, of course. Definitely not just for the grape juice. Wait, what?
What? Wait, was he wearing the old outfit? Diluc?
Is there a problem?
Yes, you are looking fabulous, is handsome, and I can't get over it.
Master Diluc, you're wearing your old outfit again? And you've tied your hair back.
I love the skin. If it wasn't like $15, I'd get it.
You look so formal all of a sudden.
Old outfit? You've seen it before?
Yep, it was by that Ley Line anomaly. That was your past self, right?
Huh. I'm surprised it made such an impression.
Well, it is very red, and you do look quite good in it, I'll be honest.
Do you mind telling us about it? What happened back then? Why were you fighting there?
The same reason as ever. Just stopping another Abyss Order plot. They launched an offensive on several fronts at once. Unfortunately for them, they were still no match for me. We were fighting in an area on Falcon Coast, and everything was recorded by the unusually active ley lines. They must have become unstable again recently, causing them to let out all kinds of information from that time. Hence why you saw what you saw.
Why didn't you stay there to keep guard?
For starters, you only need to deal with the monsters, and the ley line deposit will stay dormant, as long as it isn't disturbed again. On the other hand, if I'd done nothing at all, the Knights of Favonius would have taken over straight away. Knowing how they work, they'd be sure to send a large contingent to guard the site.
Wouldn't that have been a good thing?
Yeah, like, don't you want someone to guard it?
Depends. Most of the Knights are away on expeditions, so they don't have a lot of people to spare. If the ley line anomaly was just a diversion tactic, the Abyss Order could have been poised to attack somewhere else entirely, while the Knights were scrambling to send what limited forces they have to Falcon Coast. But anyway, I have no interest in talking to the Knights of Favonius. I prefer to get to the bottom of things myself, rather than waste time negotiating with them.
I know how you feel, buddy. I know. You've said it plenty times.
And it was easy enough for me to find out the Abyss Order's plans. Take a few Abyss mages hostage, and they soon start talking. As for the Knights of Favonius, I've sent someone to enlist their cooperation where it's needed.
So, this is a joint initiative between you and the Knights?
It's their job to handle situations like this. They ought to be present when things come to a head. I don't like working closely with the Knights of Favonius because of our differences in philosophy, but that doesn't mean we can't watch each other's backs when it counts.
So they now know your secret?
Whoa. Seems like you have even more control over things now than you used to, Diluc.
The best way to deal with any threat is to utilize all the force at your disposal. Anyway, thank you for your help. Adeline brought me up to speed with everything. In return, I have a gift for your trouble.
Oh?
Great juice? The packaging is so fancy. It must be really expensive.
This is my personal favorite grape juice, made of the highest quality grapes. I happen to have an unopened batch, so I brought you a bottle to try.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were such fans of grape juice. Next time you want some, don't bother waiting for the discount. Just go down to the cellar and help yourselves. It's on the house.
Aw, thank you, buddy.
Woohoo! Paimon's gonna tell everyone we meet that we're VIPs at Dawn Winery. This one bottle must be worth at least like 50,000 mora. And he gave it to us for free. Thank you so much, Master Diluc.
Thank you.
If you're free tonight, you're welcome to stay for dinner. Adeland is already making it.
Is he asking me out? Oh my gosh, Becky.
There are, however, a few things I need to take care of before dinner time.
Things that involve fighting, perhaps?
Yes. Passiveness is not my style. Though I had my suspicions at the start, everything I've come across so far in my investigation suggests that the Abyss Order was not behind this. Since this arose from natural causes, it's time to wrap things up.
So what should we do?
We'll help Diluc out, of course.
Right, sure. After all, he did just give us this amazing grape juice. Wait, no. What was it? After all, even when the odds of success are 9 to 1, you must never lower your guard.
Well said.
I thought he was gonna sass her for doing an impression, but nope, he liked it.
In that case, let's get going.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, Captain Pyro. You can take it a little easier this time. Come on, let's go. This is the final battle. Then we can put all this trouble behind us.
Kaeya, what are you doing here?
Hello, Master I mean, Captain Kaeya. I don't believe we were expecting you. Has something urgent come up?
Oh, Adeland, don't be such a stranger. The Knights of Favonius have received word of another sighting of the Dark Knight hero. Now, the witness wasn't able to see where the suspect was headed. However, I just have a gut feeling that he's in the Dawn Winery area.
Really? What can I say, Captain Kaeya? You and the Dark Knight hero have never been seen in the same place at the same time, and you often show up at the Dawn Winery, just like the Dark Knight hero. So, is it safe to say that you are the Dark Knight hero?
Now that you mention it, it makes sense. I almost can't believe it. I am the legendary Dark Knight hero.
You're funny.
I'm sorry, Captain Kaeya, but the Dawn Winery is having a fire safety inspection today. You'll have to come back another day.
Seriously, shouldn't you at least ask me to stay for dinner as a courtesy? Then again, I do have a pile of admin work waiting for me today. In that case, please pass a message on to Diluc for me. Tell him that the hazard zone has been established. The public shouldn't notice anything, and the enemy is unlikely to detect it right away.
Captain Kaeya, your words are as profound and enigmatic as ever. I'm just a maid. None of that means anything to me. Master is currently out at a business meeting with his commercial partners. I don't know where they are exactly. I will pass your message on to him word for word when he gets back, but I can't guarantee that the meaning behind the words will be fully conveyed.
Oh, you know it will.
Oh, but these are code words he grew up using. If he doesn't understand them, then perhaps it was a wasted childhood. Oh, by the way, is there anything new at the winery? While I'm here, I'd like to pick up some choice wine to take home.
Captain Kaeya, you are too funny. You know we don't do retail. Still, thank you so much for visiting.
I think she's trying to tell you to get. Not that I don't want to see you because I want to see you, but I think she's telling you to get.
There. It's done. The Ley Line deposit will disappear before long.
That all went very smoothly.
All thanks to the power of teamwork.
Yeah.
See, even Captain Pyro needs his trusty sidekick sometimes. It can't be Master Diluc saving the day by himself every single time. Many hands make light work.
Sidekicks.
Could we be Robin?
It's been a long time since I last worked with others. It's not so bad.
Are you smiling for once, Diluc?
If the opportunity arises, let's team up again in the future.
There's something strange about this brick. Take this brick off the wall. It's a secret compartment with a box inside. open the box. The objects in the box are pretty old. One particular sheet of paper stands out. A piece of it has been burned away, and the remaining parts show signs of having been rescued from that same flame. Every line on this sheet of paper has a matching one right under it. From the handwriting, it looks like a child wrote on this first before an adult stepped in, held their hand, and taught them how to do it the second time. The writings are as follows. Remember always that it was the Albrecht clan, who did not have royal blood, who stepped in as regents when the strength of the one-eyed king Ermin failed. Though we could not restore Conria to life, we of the Albrecht clan should lead lives, those who blaze like fire, rather than those who wallow in the embers. If you flip the paper over, there are other words there. You reckon these must be annotations of some sort. I saved this one memento from the fire Father made while he wasn't paying attention. This was in violation of our principles. Our clan's affairs should never be recorded. For me, this sheet of paper cannot serve as any form of identification and will not give me passage anywhere. Now that I took at it, his handwriting was as grieving as smoke ash pile. There is no way that I can write something like that living in Mondstadt as I am. Moving the paper aside, you can see a cloth bag underneath it that contains an eye patch of significant age. A sticker is attached to the side and the text on it reads, "Ha, to think that all that play acting as a one-eyed pirate would eventually end with one actual wounded eye." I have never blamed Diluc for that. I suppose I must have been asking for it, telling him the truth the day that my adopted father died without expecting conflict to emerge somehow. He seems to believe that I really was blinded. Though that's not the case. Well, I fooled him for a while, haven't I? Might as well keep going. A small paper bag lies next to these two letters. It contains nothing but a few seashells. They have lost most of their luster. It is unclear how much time has passed since they were picked up. 2D. A storm is brewing within the Knights of Favonius. Varka's inner circle is preparing to investigate Arok and his henchmen, and it's looking increasingly likely that Arok is about to get unseated from the high horse of his. You might not be too pleased to see this letter of mine, but I mean to get this news to you as soon as possible. You don't have to reply. 2D. Even I was a little surprised to hear that you've decided to leave on a trip. Jean wanted to write and try to dissuade you, but I advised her against it. As for Varka, I don't think he knows about this, otherwise he'd have probably sat you down for a talk. If you'd like to leave, do it now. The less people that know, the less goodbyes you'll have to say. Leave at night too, so things won't be too saddening. Take care. 2D. Some slightly bad news. Arok won't be quite so difficult to bring down after all. The Grand Master's order to investigate has certainly dealt him a major blow, but I wouldn't call the problem pulled up by the roots yet. The matter has been handed over to Jean's jurisdiction. She'll take care of this, I believe. Arok is an obstacle in her path in any case. Just sit tight and wait for the good news. Diluc. Jean wrote to me lately with shocking news. If I don't miss my guess, she wrote to you too. Her sentiments are those of the Knights as a whole. Crepus was a good man, and I thought very well of him. It grieves me greatly to know that he met with such a fate. As for the defeat of the Drake, the honors for that accomplishment should go to your father. I do not expect Arok's theft of credit for that deed, which was brought with your father's sacrifice. Stolen credit will not be accepted within the Knights of Favonius under any circumstances. I will not permit it. I have already given Jean the authority to punish Arok with all necessary severity. The Knights will inform you of the results. This sounds like Varka. I've heard that you've been taking some of the time off outdoors and may not be easy to reach, so there is no guarantee that my letter will reach you. As such, I'll stop here for now. If it does reach you, then I wish you good health and safety in your travels. Contact us if you need anything. I hope that Falcon of yours will help put this letter in your hands. I mean, I don't write in person very often, you know. These may seem like pointless words to you right now, but remember, even the greatest disasters must come to an end. Mondstadt waits for your return, and if you're willing, the Knights will always welcome you. If you're not, forget I said anything, yeah? Dear Master Varka, you have my utmost thanks to your condolences and concern. My father would be pleased to have heard your compliments. I doubt that anything would have pleased him more than to have acknowledgment of the Knight of Boreas. I am presently traveling, and by stroke of fortune your letter has indeed reached me safely. If nothing goes awry, I believe that I will not be joining the Knights of Favonius. However, I will not forget my previous experiences. I will commit everything the Knights taught me to heart. May this find you in good health. To the heir of the Ragnavir clan. I apologize for sending this letter without notice. You may not remember me, but we've met a few times. We've met near the square, when I sat at the table adjacent to yours at the Good Hunter, and I've seen you in your tavern. You were always busy with a great many things, especially back when you were much chattier than you are now. You spoke cheerfully and often with your brother and friends then. It's probably no surprise that you did not notice me then, but I've always had my eye on you, child. I recall with crystal clarity how my little Clee once made a complete mess of your vineyard while she was trying to catch a crystal flies there. But you didn't get angry. In fact, you personally scored a Clee back and even gave her a few bottles of fresh grape juice. So this is Alice writing a letter to him. Oh, that's cool. Now I think that might jog your memory, yes? Clee recently told me that she hasn't seen that strange man with the red hair in ages, so I decided to look into it out of curiosity. My deepest condolences regarding your father. In many of the stories I've been told, you are the model knight, proud, driven, a knight of noble character and lineage. But I know that you are gentler than you appear. If you weren't, you wouldn't have treated Clee the way you did. And since you helped my child out, I hope you won't mind if I treat you as if you were my own. Aw, she's adopting Diluc like she did with Albedo. That's cute. Therefore, I sincerely hope that you will leave the dark place that you were presently in, that you will not wallow in grief and remorse. Partings are most painful things, but they also encourage us to grow. A bird that has lost the roof over its head will fly further than others of its kind. Go out and see the world. That's the best course of action I can envision. Only by feeling, observing, and listening can your heart be healed. Parents all wish that they can accompany their children forever, and the skies, seas, and stars bear witness to that oath. Everything that was your father now finds new life with you. That which you will experience in this world may have been things that your father experienced once upon a time. I hope that the wind will bring you all manner of wondrous things in your journeys to come. In any case, keep your chin up, young child. Dear Miss Alice, I must admit that when I read the opening lines to this letter, I was not expecting it to have been written by you. It seems that I may have indeed failed to notice you despite your presence nearby. My apologies for that. Regarding Clee, I have heard that you are an extremely powerful witch, so I suspect that Clee would have been just fine even sans my presence. Even so, you sent me this letter, for which I am thankful. As you have said, traveling is my best option at present. I will go out and experience all that the world has to offer, just as you have suggested. My father's will shall find continuation through me. Clee is welcome to stay at Dawn Winery as a guest during my absence. Adeline will prepare sufficient snacks and grape juice for such occasions, and if you don't mind, you are also welcome to drop by. Aw, that's sweet. I hope that you and Clee stay in good health. That's so sweet, oh my gosh. Master Kaeya took leave and stayed at Dawn Winery for a few days. In a rare turn of events, he decided to stay in his original bedroom. He would pace about the grounds when idle, and even asked Adeline to make him his favorite dishes. Really does take me back. I shall be honest with you, but I was quite surprised to hear Master Kaeya say that he wanted to stay for a few days. We did not refuse him, however. We believe that even if you were here, you would not refuse him outright. Kaeya was homesick back in the day. Dawn Winery has always been a more quiet location, perhaps because all who stay here are all rather peaceable people. The house is made by those who live in it, and Master Kaeya's uncommon arrival did end up livening the place up significantly. I hope that you are doing well in your travels abroad. Everyone here at the winery misses you. May you remain safe and in good health. 2D. Recently, a group of businessmen returned to Mondstadt. Word is that the reason for their return is a downturn in business. According to my observations, their employees are regulars at Angel's Share. These people can also be found out in the more dangerous parts of the wilds around the city. Now, a few of them are a little careless and even drop some pages of their notes on the ground. I took the liberty of returning these sheets to Angel's Share, out of the goodness of my heart. I think they might have something to do with you, seeing as how they were there. I also noticed that their notes were written in code. Information brokers, perhaps? Or some kind of secret organization. Whatever the case, it took me quite a lot of effort to see those blurred words with only one eye, Don't worry, I'll keep the secret. 2K. Message received. Thank you. Also, I suggest that you stop mentioning eyes in your letters. Don't think that I don't know that your right eye wasn't blinded. 2D. I didn't try to hide it from you on purpose, but I suppose you found out all the same, huh? I mean, not everyone who wears an eye patch must be blind, right? Don't people also wear an eye patch if they have a scar over their right eye? The long-awaited good news is finally here. Now I'm going to bring a glass of wine when I go watch Arok pack his things and leave on his last day. Good riddance, by the way. That should be fun, eh? I know you're not the type to do that sort of thing, but I am, so allow me. Dear Diluc, welcome back to Mondstadt, sir. It has been some time since the incident. We discovered that Arok had betrayed us, and he has been punished severely. I hope that this news will put your mind at ease. In other news, our people have discovered that the Abyss Order has stepped up its activities between Wolfendom and Stonegate lately. Also, a mysterious individual that people are calling the Dark Knight Hero has suddenly started showing up, out of nowhere, all around Mondstadt City. He typically acts in the dead of night, and his intentions are currently unclear. Please stay safe and notify the notes as soon as possible should you see anything suspicious. We will send support immediately. Whether you are presently in our ranks or not, all faithful knights will remember your contributions to the Knights of Favonius. May you remain in good health. That might be from Jean, if I had to make a guess. Dear Jean, thank you for your concern. Acting Grand Master, it is as you say, that incident should no longer weigh heavily on my mind. Punish Arok for his malfeasance was the right way to correct the Knights of Favonius' past mistakes. This is an important step indeed for the Knights. As for my own personal safety, you need not concern yourself too much. The Knights of Favonius should focus their efforts where it counts by looking after those who need it most. May you also remain in good health. 2D. Oh my, no sooner did you get back than a mysterious character started popping up. I hear he's called the Dark Knight Hero. He has repeatedly fought off treasure hoarders and monsters in the Mondstadt area, and he's even attacked Abyss Order strongholds. So far, it seems like he is on Mondstadt's side, but the Knights of Favonius could never permit the existence of a vigilante. I get the feeling that the two of you would get along nicely. Why don't you find an opportunity to get to know him and give him some sage advice? You know, just so he doesn't get caught by the Knights? Kaeya's funny. I like him. 2D. Per standard procedure, the Knights of Favonius needs to take a statement from all relevant parties. Recently, the Knights of Favonius have received reports on a number of eyewitnesses claiming to have seen the Dark Knight Hero in the vicinity of the Dawn Winery. The Grand Master has assigned the cavalry company to this mission. As such, I will be paying you with a visit in 3 days. He seems to think that our relationship can be improved if we were forced to talk in person. Don't worry, though. My lips are sealed. This will be nothing more than a formality. Anyway, 3 days' notice should be enough for you, I presume? 2D. The appearance of the Dark Knight Hero has indeed brought the Knights of Favonius some valuable time during the Abyss Order's last attack. This helped Jean convince the Knights of Favonius to stop focusing on trying to stop him. This will decrease the limits on the Dark Knight Hero's actions, but this doesn't mean that his situation will necessarily improve. Objects with too honed an edge tend to be damaged more easily. You, I'm sure, are aware of the great dangers that come with acting alone. That said, I would advise against such a course of action. 2D. I heard that the Dawn Winery did not suffer any damage. Likewise, the Knights of Favonius only sustained minor injuries and will recover quickly. However, an employee of a local merchant has gone missing, and their last known location just so happens to align with the Abyss Order's area of activity. The Knights have dispatched people to go to their rescue. Do be aware that the Abyss Order has become more dangerous as of late, even going so far as to organize multi-pronged offensives. Perhaps the Dark Knight Hero and the Knights of Favonius should team up. That might guarantee that things will go off without a hitch, 2K. Thanks for the letter. Cooperating with the Knights has objective pros and cons, like two sides of a coin. I'm sure you understand that better than I do. No need to worry about my safety. Self-preservation is easy. Striving towards my goal is hard. Take better care of yourself instead. Dear Master Diluc, it is my pleasure to investigate the ley lines alongside you. As you know, my focus is on alchemy, so my knowledge of the ley lines remains quite shallow, and I fear that I will only be able to share what little understanding I have. So this is from Albedo, obviously. According to many pre-existing documents, the ley lines can be seen as a medium for storing information. Under certain circumstances, they can record activities that occur in the area around them. All this information goes through a recording and storage process. After certain periods of time, they may be released once again by the ley lines. If I may be so bold as to make a guess, there should be a method to activate the ley lines. Those who grasp such methods can control the times at which ley lines information is recorded and released. Judging from the runic symbols on some other clues, I surmise that there are particular members of the Abyss Order who may have a very small chance of being able to achieve this. If you believe that this requires further investigation, these entities may serve as your point of entry. I wrote a paper a few years ago in which I covered my brief foray into questions concerning the flow of ley lines and other such topics. You'll find a copy of this paper enclosed. I hope that it can help clear up some of your doubts. Dear Albedo, Thank you for the detailed explanation. I have read your paper and found it both enriching and easy to understand. It is a rare and well-written document indeed. I have written the relevant information down in hopes that it will be put to good use in the future. Guarding against danger is a very important skill. I will continue to keep watching over the Abyss Order and use force against them when necessary. Dear Dark Knight Hero, the Knights of Favonius have stepped up the guard details throughout Mondstadt without making any major movements. The Abyss Order will not have noticed. I am scouting around Dragonspine. The monsters here are scattered and separated. Clearly, they haven't been assembled by the Abyss Order. There are no signs of an enemy activity in the south of Mondstadt either. If you can confirm that the other locations are also free of monsters, we will be able to conclude that the Abyss Order has nothing to do with the recent Ley Line disorder.